So now let us see the sample papers of Edu, that is Masters of Arts in Education. And this is a sample paper of December 2013. These sample papers will help you to know and to get the idea about the important questions which has been repeated recurrently. Alright, so let's see the pattern you already know. First is obviously in 600 words. Option is there, you have alternate choice. Discuss the role and functions of higher education in the socio-economic advancement of a society. Evaluate the present Indian higher education system with reference to these roles and functions. Give examples in support of your answer. And the next choice is discuss the development of higher education in India during the post-independence period in terms of expansion of facilities, quality of education, and promotion of social justice. Second question, again to be attempted within 600 words. Again the choice is there. First is, what is meant by globalization? Discuss the role of globalization in shaping higher education in the world. Elaborate how Indian government has responded to the impact of WTO agreements related to higher education. The next choice is, what are the sources of financing higher education in India? Analyze critically the pattern of financing higher education in India since independence. Third question is, here you have to answer any four of the following questions, and that too in around 150 words, right? So the first one is, compare the student-teacher relationships during ancient period and in modern times. Second, write a brief note on the proposals of 11th five-year plan regarding higher education in India. Third, enlist some of the major recommendations of University Education Commission regarding qualitative development of higher education in India. Fourth, examine critically the participation of women in Indian higher education and suggest measures for improvement. And fifth is, discuss sources of the strategies of the Government of India to promote the participation of weaker sections in higher education. And the last question, which is again of 600 words, but it is single, you have no choice here. Discuss the role and functions of University Grant Commission in the development of higher education in India during the last 6 decades. Examine critically its performance in discharging its responsibilities. Discuss some of the recent developments regarding UGC and other apex bodies for higher education. Now let us see the sample paper of Masters of Education from Ignou of June 2014. The pattern will be same for every sample paper. You better know about that. You have 4 questions. First with the 600 words, you will have choice. Second again of 600 words, you have choice. Third question is of 150 words, you have to attempt 4 questions. And the last is single. So the first question and the first choice is, the universities of modern India owe very little to our ancient or medieval centers of learning. Do you agree? Discuss in detail. Or discuss the major recommendations of NPE 1986 with regard to quality assurance in higher education. Second question is, discuss the growth and development of Indian higher education since independence. Or, what are the functions of universities in modern India? Explain. Third question, attempt any 4, 150 words. First is, what is quality assurance and accreditation? Second is, Write a short note on Bertrand Russell's thoughts on the aims of education. Third, give a brief account of the criteria identified by NAAC for quality assurance. Fourth, briefly explain the effects and associated outcomes of privatization of higher education. Fifth, why is the continuous professional development of teachers essential? And sixth, briefly explain the role of teachers in meeting the societal demands of secularism and societal injustice. And the last fourth question is, give a detailed account of the issues and concerns for higher education in India in the post-GATS scenario. Now let us see again another sample paper for MES 101, that is MAEDU, Masters of Arts in Education from Ignou. And this paper is TEA, that is Term and Examination, conducted in December 2014. And the first pattern is same, First question is, what is development? What are the paradigms of development? Give your views on development in the Indian context. Or discuss the major recommendations of NPE 1986 regarding higher education. Second question. What is the relationship between academic freedom and institutional autonomy? Why are the two important for the functioning of an institution? Or explain the impact of British policies on Indian higher education. Third question, again 150 words, need to attempt 24. Say all 6 here. First, what is the role of higher education in dealing with societal problems? Second, what is the approach and methodology evolved by National Assessment and Accreditation Council, that is NAAC, for quality assurance? Third, how is the Upanishadic view on development and perfection of the individual different from the Greco-Roman view? Fourth, write a short note on Program of Action 1992. Fifth, briefly explain the role of a teacher in meeting the research and extension functions. And sixth, write a note on continuous appraisal. And the last question, 600 words, discuss the main features of GATS with regards to education. What is your opinion about education being seen as a tradable commodity? Let us see another sample paper for MES 101 from Ignou Maedu, and the paper is from June 2015. Let us see first question. What is the role of higher education in national development? Discuss how it has kept pace with the changing socio-economic conditions in the post-independence period in India. Or, what is meant by institutional autonomy and academic freedom? Explain the relationship between institutional autonomy and academic freedom. Discuss the challenges confronting university autonomy in India today. Second question. What is meant by internationalization of higher education? Discuss the various modes of internationalization of higher education in the Indian context, highlighting its advantages and limitations. Or, describe the role and functions of NAAC in the overall qualitative development of higher education in India. Evaluate critically its performance since its inception as a quality control body. Third question. Again, you have choices. You need to attempt 4 only. that to be within 150 words. So first is, what is the idea of a university? Second is, explain how global changes affect higher education systems. Third is, describe the constitutional provisions related to the development and coordination of higher education system in India. Fourth is, evaluate critically the funding pattern of higher education in India. And next is, discuss the role of professional organization of teachers in the context of higher education in India. And the last question is, discuss the emergence of distance education system in India. Highlight the role and contribution of Ignou in expanding access and equity in higher education. What do you think are the challenges before open and distance learning systems in India? Now again, let us see MS 101 from Ignou Maedu. The sample paper from June 2016. The pattern is again similar for all the sample papers, and the first question is, a university stands for humanism, for tolerance, for reason, for the adventure of ideas, and for the search of truth. Comment on this statement with reference to functions of higher education in the Indian context. Explain the meaning of higher education. Discuss the role of higher education in the development of a society. Give examples drawn from Indian society. Second, discuss the historical development of higher education in India with special mention of important landmarks since Wood's Education Dispatch of 1854. Or, what do you mean by quality education? Discuss the various parameters which should be considered while assessing the quality of higher education in India. What is your assessment of quality of higher education in India? Third question, again you have choices. You need to attempt 4 within 150 words each. First is, what are the characteristics of a research university? Second, comment on the SS aspect of higher education in India. Third is, write a brief note on the role of University Grant Commission in higher education in India. Fourth is, what are the different kinds of higher education institutions in India? Discuss their role and functions. And the next is, discuss the role of NAAC, the quality control mechanism for higher education in our country. And the last question is, give a critique of the role of teachers' organizations in promoting professionalism in the context of universities and colleges in India.